Welcome to the 10th season of the Author's Corner. Each show is jam-packed with interviews, reviews, and so much more for you, the author and the artist. And now, here's our host, author H.D. Campbell.
Welcome to the Artist Corner with H.D. Campbell. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. I'm walking around this resort, Disney Resort, man. This is like the cream of the crop vacation. Got my family here that y'all trying to run away from me. See?
Okay, guys, I have a question. Is this how much salt and pepper y'all use on one meal or half a meal? Because we not white people.
Got something to say, Miss Ramsey?
Not much.
It looks like Skylar ran away from us, but I wanted to tell you, welcome to the Author's Corner. This week I will be doing my shows from right here, Simi St. Cloud, and from all the Disney resorts. So we're going to have very wonderful authors, very wonderful talent, and I'm going to show you the highlights of my vacation.
When the Author Corners return, we will start the ball rolling with Loren, where we'll talk about everything from villains to characters and what in the world is love erotica. Then, later, we'll talk to model and R&B artist Nicole Marie with a discussion about both industries, pageantry, and much more. So stay tuned.
On the ferry, about to take off, going to the Magical Kingdom. Everything is very good. Everything is all good. What am I looking at? Uh-oh, looking at everybody taking the pictures. Hello. There's my beautiful wife.
Hey, how you doing? We're at Disney. We're having a great time. Enjoy us at the HD Author's Corner.
See, and my wife beautiful. I love her so much. So, now that we're back, we're going to go to our next author, who is very, very talented. Here they are. What does love erotica mean?
Okay, love erotica was something I was playing with when I was trying to start my brand. And it basically just means love stories with an edge of sexy. So you're going to get a story as well as a lot of good sex in my books.
At what point did you start your writing career?
I waited a long time. I started in my 40s. I've been writing most of my life, but I was too afraid to share it with everybody else. So I just kept my stories for myself. And then I got tired of working in corporate, and I was getting stressed. My health was failing, so I was like, you know what? It's time to do something different and be happy, live your dreams. Life's too short. So in 2017, I released my first book. It was a 3-part series, and from there, I've just continued writing and honing my craft and getting better and better.
Okay, cool. Well, for somebody who started 2017, you have a lot of books, and that makes for a long career. And I mean, it's really cool. You've got, I mean, going to your website, you have so many books. Minus the book we're going to talk about here in a minute, what are some of your favorite books that you've written?
That's like asking a mother who was her favorite child.
I know, and that's a very hard question, and I ask it just in case, but yeah, if you ask me, it would be the same thing. So let me rephrase that. In fact, I'll ask you a whole different question. I'll do you that favor. Ask you a whole different question. What was your most challenging book?
Okay, the most challenging book, and it was Egyptian Nights. That one, I was writing during the time when my mom was sick, and then she passed while I was writing it. So that was very difficult for me, but I made sure I finished it to honor her.
I'm very sorry to hear that, by the way, because
Thank you.
just recently lost mine, so I truly understand what you're going through. So now we're going to get to the good part. We're going to get to Untangled.
Yes.
Number one, explain me what the Once Upon a Villain series is.
Okay, the Once Upon a Villain series was a brainchild of Siren Allen, who was a paranormal writer. She came up with the idea to, instead of writing about the Disney princesses like everybody else does, let's see what happens when the villains need love as well. So she came up with the idea. She recruited people. I was part of the 10 authors that decided to participate, and we're all writing different stories on different villains. I chose Mother Gothel from the Rapunzel story, and I made it a little different because I'm African American, and all of my characters are African American. So, all the female characters are African American. So I made, instead of Mother Gothel being what you see on Rapunzel, I turned her into an African American woman, and I named her Gugu instead of Gothel.
Okay.
And the whole series is 10 authors. We're all releasing our books on the same day, which is September 13th. And we're all, cross-marketing, we're supporting each other. And it's a really exciting first time for me to see, all the 10 authors releasing at the same time. Is kind of unusual. Usually you do in sets, or you go, like, each author will release every other day or something, but everyone releasing on the same day is going to be exciting.
Okay. So I was actually going to ask you, actually answer my question as far as everybody releasing on the same day. You guys do a lot of marketing. Are you guys doing any pre-sales?
We are all on pre-order right now. We've been that way for about a month now. So you can pre-order the book, and then it releases on September 13th. Some of the authors have reduced the price for pre-order, and then the price will increase after that, but not everyone has done that.
Okay. Now tell me a little more about the Untangled, your book.
Okay. My book, Untangled, again, it's about, it's the reverse of Rapunzel and what the villain in the story goes through. So you'll see the character of Rapunzel in the story, but it's woven in a different way, and it's not focused on her. My character, Gugu, she was a bullied child, and she was neglected, and she went through a lot of drama in her life. So I felt it was important to explain why she was a villain, what turned her into that. And there was one particular incident in her college days that really pushed her over the edge. I won't give that away because that's part of the plot, but it really pushed her over the edge in college, and she really her heart turned icy. So at that point, she decided nobody was going to stop her from reaching her goals. She was going to do what she wanted to do, and no one was ever going to call her ugly again because people used to pick on her and call her ugly. So she became obsessed with being beautiful. She did Botox, and she really did the whole plastic surgery thing, wanting to make sure that she was of the standard beauty. And she kind of finds out later on in the book that that's not really where she needs to be. So in the book, she's introduced as this vain person who's very angry and very mean. And it turns her around. At the end of the book, she comes around and figures out things for herself. She's no longer bullied. She no longer has to act out after she falls in love. But the kicker on that is the guy she falls in love with is actually deceased. And he is like living in hell.
Oh.
He moves between realms. So it's kind of like a paranormal a little spin to it.
Okay, awesome. You know what? When I was reading some of your synopses and researching on you, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I love characters. I think characters make a good story. I'm a very character-driven author. How important is characterization in your stories?
It's critical. Very, 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 very critical. What I normally do when I start writing is get out a notebook, and if I see, I'll look for inspiration on the character. I'll look through pictures and find someone that I want as a visual representation of that character, and then I'll create a whole personality for the person, their age, just everything about them. I'll go ahead and chart out everything in a notebook, and I do it for each of the main two characters, and then I'll go ahead and start writing. But I have to make sure that I have those characters straight, and what would they react to, how would they react to a certain situation. I have a whole slew of questions that I ask about the character, and I have to answer them before I can start writing.
Okay. Now, besides characterization, what do you value most in a story?
Well, since I write romance, I value that love story very much. I'm a romantic at heart, and I always want to end, the definition of romance, you have to have a happily ever after. So I always love how they get to the happily ever after. Because there's going to be a little bit of turmoil, and there's going to be, love scenes. And the sex is secondary. It's always about the story and how the characters fall in love.
Okay. So, do you have any other books up Once Upon a Villain series, or is that the only one?
There's only one so far. This is the first part. And she's going to do a second series of Once Upon a Villain next year. So we're gearing up for that as well.
Can you give us a preview, or the kind of under wraps of what villain you might use this time?
I can hint. Well, it's a Cyclops. I'll tell you that.
Okay, cool. Oh, kind of like the Odyssey thing. Okay,
Yes.
I'm feeling you. I'm really feeling you. We're good. So, reading like you have a lot of books. But one thing to say in particular, you have a couple motorcycle club books.
Yes.
Tell me about those.
Okay. Well, the first one I wrote was for the Lady Guardian series.
Mm-hmm.
That was started by author Zyla Turner, and she created an entire world of lady bikers. And they name themselves the Lady Guardians. And they're a bike club, but they're not a gang. What they do is they do community service in their communities. There's different different clubs throughout the United States. So each author that writes in the series can choose what city they want to write for. If there's not a club in that series, they'll make up their own club, and they have to make up their own characters. If they choose an existing city, then they have to intertwine the existing characters that are in that club. Zyla was the first book to put out. Hers was the national chapter, and then it went, I think it's 4 different cohorts in that series, and I was in the last one, which was May, and that's the final one in the series. There's 20 authors, and I think there's 28 stories within the series. But mine is focused in Birmingham, Alabama, which is where I currently live. It's the home of civil rights. Well, around here we claim it as the home of civil rights. So my story was more about the certain time that we live in now, where there's police brutality, there's a lot of angst against black people, just walking down the street, can't go to the grocery store without being harassed, that kind of thing. I have some of that intertwined in the story. Part of it is humorous, part of it is very serious, and you still have the love story intertwined within that. Mine is called The Wrong Side of Right, and there's a police officer that is involved in a shooting. He's a white cop, and he's dating a black girl who is actually a part of the Lady Guardians. And she doesn't know that he's a cop, because she hates cops.
Ooh.
So when she first met him, he was working security at a concert. So she just assumed he was security. And he's a former Marine, and he stands by all the things that Marines stand for: the honor, the code, the brotherhood. And so when he's accused of shooting a black woman down in the street for no reason, there's like a national media storm on that. And you have to read the book to figure out what happens and how that intertwines with the love story.
Yeah, I love that. Now, you talk about how a lot of your love stories intertwine with inner life. How does the romance part intertwine with your own life?
Well, it intertwines, first of all, the genre that I started writing. I write BWWM, which stands for Black Woman, White Man. I am married, have been married for 19 years to a white man. And I never thought in a million years that I would have done that. But it was the man who I fell in love with. He was my soulmate, and I don't see the color part as far as a difference. It's not something to deter me. It was not even something to attract me. It was just, I dated him not because he was white, but because of the person he was. And he just happened to be white. So in that, I write, my books are surrounded by black women dating white men.
Awesome. And see the thing about it is, which is what makes it really awesome, is you're taking what you feel is your comfort zone and writing it, and it ends up becoming great.
Thank you.
So that, again, that's very awesome. So, have you had any blowback from that?
Not yet, knock on wood.
No. Knocking on my own wood. Yeah.
I do live in Alabama, and you get the looks, the stares, or whatever, but nothing physical. Nobody's verbally attacked me, or him, for that matter. But
awesome.
You never say never. But again, I'm gonna knock on wood on that, and just continue on. He was accepted. My mom accepted him, so his parents had no problem with me. So we're good.
Love is love. So
the people that love you, that's all that matters.
That's why I say love is love. I mean, and this is off the record. If anybody can't accept that, forget them. Just keep it moving. See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Forget that mess. So, changing gears. Do you have any advanced plan for your book release?
We are doing an author takeover. It's going to be the week after the release. We're also doing, it's a joint author takeover, so all 10 authors will be participating. It's on Facebook, and the Alpha Central group will be doing, on release day, another little takeover with blurbs and marketing tools. So you'll get to see all of the different authors within the series.
Okay, cool. Now here's where the rubber meets the road. How can we get to know you? How can we follow you? How can we buy your books? What can we do to get to know El Loren?
Well, I participate in book events throughout the summer. I usually do it in the summer. I just got back from North Carolina, the Lights, Camera, Action book event that was in Raleigh. And I love meeting my readers in person, and I love discovering new readers. So if you ever go to a book event, don't be shy. Always go up to the authors. That's what we live for. We love reading our readers. You can find me. My books are on Amazon. L.Loren, Loren. And my website is lloren.wordpress.com. I'm all over Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, so any social media site. So for Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram, it's at Rebirth of Lisa. And on Facebook, I'm L.Loren Writer.
Okay. Awesome. So, do you have any other projects that's coming up or any more releases in the future?
I do. And while I was talking about the motorcycle club, I neglected to tell you about the other book that I have. It's a creation of my own. It's called The Predators MC. And I have a book coming up in that series. I'm currently still writing it, but it's almost finished. And hopefully it will be at the end of September or the beginning of October for that release. It's called Obsession. So that one will be coming out very soon.
Okay.
Right behind The Untangled.
Well, one thing I won't do, because as a writer, it annoys me. I'm not going to have you give me details while you're writing it, because it's like, no, I don't want to tell you anything. I'm writing it. I can't tell you anything.
I can give you a little hint. It's, because I write romance, this one is a little bit different for me. It'll be my first delve into polyamorous relationship. So there'll one female and two males as the main characters in that.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So, we get to the part of the show. We're wrapping up the show. The episode, the interview. This is where I give you the final word. Do you have any advice for any new upcoming authors coming up? Anyone who's trying to get to your level? Anyone who wants to just be great? Do you have any advice for them?
Just don't give up. Always trust your gut. When people tell you that you need to change something about your work and you feel strongly about it, speak up for yourself and don't let them change your core story. Trust your gut and know that it's there for a reason. Always listen to yourself and don't doubt yourself. Even when you have a little block, keep writing and work through it, because whatever story you have within you is worth telling.
One more bonus question. Like I say, the picture behind you, I love that picture. Please explain to me one more. Please tell me the origin of that picture. I've seen it on your website. Tell me the origin of that.
It's my brand that I developed with a graphic designer. I wanted something to represent plus size African American women, natural hair. And that's all I told the graphic designer, and bam, he was genius. He came up with that. I was like, oh, I loved it.
Sitting here with my gangster family, going on the gangster Disney cruise. With everybody, gangster family on the gangster cruise. Gangster wife.
Gangsta. We killing it. We killing it here in Disney World. Gangster.
As you see, the gangster family all around. We're gonna have
our colors. We on.
Yeah, we wearing our colors. Our colors. That's right, boy. Peace and love and hair grease.
Coming up next, we'll have a fun discussion about modeling, singing, and pageantry with Nicole Marie. But first, here are some Disney highlights.
She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift, and hope that you'll take it into her side. La 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 la.
Go to www.regicrochet.com for that one-of-a-kind item. That's www.regicrochet.com.
This is H.C. Campbell here at the Small World.
You are a model, a vocal artist, a writer, consultant. You do a lot of things, but it all came about as you being a model. First, tell me, how did you start out being a model, and how did it expand from there?
I actually started out singing.
Oh.
And then people started inviting me to be in videos and stuff. And then it just kind of went from doing music videos to, just taking it a little bit more seriously, because so many people were coming at me with modeling things. And even as far as my coworkers sending pictures to a modeling agency and things like that. So I kind of fell into modeling through music and just being like on the scene a little bit with entertainment.
Okay. Well, how did it fall into modeling? And tell me a little bit about some of the modeling that you've done.
I have done a lot of modeling.
Well, tell me some of the venues. Yeah, tell me some of the yes.
Okay, so I'll start off with, like I said, photo shoots. I started off as a picture model, doing like photo shoots and photography. So I traveled a lot. I've been to like Fayetteville, Charleston, Florida, Isle of Palms, Florida, Atlanta, Charlotte, for both photography work and for fashion shows. I got into like runway modeling later on in the game when they submitted me to an actual modeling agency that's when I started modeling clothes for designers as a curvy model. I started out in the category of more like glam and commercial work because of my smile and things like that. And being a curvy female put me in more of the category of like glam, high glam, which turned into runway modeling because as time progressed, being curvy became more in fashion. And so now there are more clothes made for curvy women, more curvy designers. And also it made me versatile because I can do not curvy to curvy modeling. But I tend to do more plus size curvy modeling because those clothes are more made for my shape.
Okay. Well, how did you get into pageantry from there?
Somebody mentioned that I should be in a pageant years ago. And one day I just was like, I'm going to apply for a pageant. And I actually made it. I had a little bit of pageant experience when I was younger. I did a pageant in college for the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. I also was Miss Southern Belle years ago. But it wasn't until like last year that I started doing pageantry on a bigger platform. Starting with the Miss Columbia Plus America pageant. And or the Miss Plus America pageant where I was the Miss Columbia, and I also made first runner-up to the Miss South Carolina Plus America, and now I'm with the Miss South Carolina Plus World pageant, which is a platform where you have the opportunity to be in a worldwide pageant. So I started out with little small pageants, and as the modeling picked up and I began to kind of see modeling more as like a real avenue for me, I was able to join pageantry as well.
Do you hold any titles?
Yeah, for pageantry?
Yes.
I was first the Miss Southern Belle, and that's MRS, Miss Southern Belle. Now I'm Miss Columbia Plus America 2019. And right now I am the Miss Columbia Plus World.
Okay. Pretty cool, pretty cool.
And I'm first runner-up for the Miss South Carolina Plus America.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to switch gears for a second. Because of all that you've done, I'm going to go into another realm. I've heard from a little birdie, maybe you, maybe not. You've done promotional modeling for Rashida from Love and Hip Hop, as well as Marquise Houston. How in the world did you get that job?
Wow, yeah, you did some research. I did. My first actual real photographer, and he's in Miami now, his name was Tay. And Tay I did 2 promotional modeling gigs for Rashida. The first one, I believe, was in Atlanta, and the second one was at East Carolina College. So when she performed and stuff, we got to be on stage with her and things like that. I took pictures. So it was nice, but he was already connected with Rashida before. I guess I was one of the models picked to model, for her. As well as Marcus Houston. I did promotional modeling from Marcus Houston here in Columbia. He was at a place, it was called Capriosca's at the time. Right now, I believe it's Kiki's Chicken and Waffles. The same building on 2 Notch. Marcus Houston came there. I was a promotional model for Capriosca's when it first came out, and we got to model with Marcus Houston. Another thing I did back then, I interviewed Freeway, the rapper.
Oh, nice.
Him back when he was, doing music. So just kind of knowing people and being available, networking, and just not being afraid to have out there will get you a long way. And building good relationships with people so that they keep you in mind when these opportunities come about. I strongly encourage, having a good personality, not being difficult to work with, and trying not to burn bridges with people unless it is necessary. I mean, unless they're doing something to harm you or they've done something that merits you burning a bridge with them. But just kind of keeping good relationships with people like your photographers, if you're doing promotional modeling, the company, and just kind of so that they know, when they ask somebody, can you think of some models that would be good for this, that, and the third, then they can think about, Nicole Marie, she has a great personality, she's hardworking, she's a pleasure to be around, she's going to do what she's supposed to do, and that will get you a long way.
I'm going to switch gears for a second. I want to ask a follow-up question to that. What are some of the downfalls to modeling? What some of the negative experiences have you had?
I wouldn't say I really have had a negative experience with modeling. I will say that people in general do not know the hard work that goes into doing modeling, music, anything. Especially with modeling, people think that an attractive person is an automatic model. Sometimes that cannot be further from the truth. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes going to the gym. If you have, bad skin, it takes getting that skin right. A lot of people want to be a model, but they are not willing to do the work it requires to be successful at it. And so the downside, so I've had a lot of friends tell me, help me out with modeling, put me on to this, that, and the third. But as soon as they have to travel, as soon as somebody tells them, they need to work on, their muscle tone or their skin, maybe change their hair, they have a problem, or they're not willing to try to grow and do better. Also, with being curvy, sometimes with modeling it can be difficult because they are not about your feelings. They are about what's best for them and their brain. If a designer wants a 6 foot tall, 125-pound model, that's what they want. The designer wants a curvy model, that's what they want. It's not personal, it's business. And you have to accept that you may not be that day. They may not want you at that audition. That doesn't mean that you are not attractive. That does not mean that person is better looking or anything. It just may not be the right thing for you. So you have to be strong as you are when you go to casting calls. You have to be strong as you are anytime, because when you're in the entertainment field, you open yourself up for a lot of critiques and things like that you may not encounter in your regular life, and you have to be strong enough to take the good with the bad. Some things you can listen to, and some things may not be the best advice for you. So you just have to be really strong when it comes to entertainment in general, especially modeling.
Okay. Now, as a model and as an R&B/gospel singer, you travel a lot. You travel to a lot of cities throughout the country. What are some of your more favorite, the more favorite cities you went to?
You said more favorite?
Yeah. What's some of your favorite cities that you've been to?
I'm simple. I like Charlotte. I did like when I modeled in Panama City, Florida, at the water. I've really been down the southeast coast. I've been to like Wilmington, North Carolina, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach. I just like anywhere that has beautiful surroundings. I like it. It doesn't have to be, extravagant. Just nice. Just something that takes a place that takes good pictures.
Awesome.
I'd always say Florida. I love Florida. I love when I took those photos in Panama City, Florida, at the water. we had a nice place to stay, like a condo type. So I really, if I had to say I enjoyed the place the most for doing the photo shoot, it would be Panama City, Florida.
Awesome. So, what magazines have you been on? What magazines have you graced?
I've been in Humble Vixen magazine a couple of times. I've been on the cover of the Valentine's issue.
Ooh.
I'm doing some more. It's hard to think about sometimes. But right now, that's the main one I think about. Some great photography work. I was in the swimsuit issue most recently. I was on the cover of the Valentine issue. There was another magazine I was in, but I just can't. I think they changed their name. And I'm going to be submitting to some more magazines coming up this year.
Well, before I switch gears, I just want to say something. You have a very beautiful smile. Have you ever thought about doing toothpaste ads? Because I'm seriously, you smile a lot and you have a very beautiful smile. Have you done any toothpaste ads?
Huh?
Have you done any toothpaste ads? Because not, you should. Because you have a beautiful smile and you are always smiling. I love that.
I do smile a lot, and I do have a friend of mine who is an actress who has been saying that I should do toothpaste commercials for the longest. I do believe in good oral hygiene. I do go to the dentist. I'm going today, as a matter of fact. But thank you. Yeah, I think just keeping up on oral hygiene at the dentist, and I definitely would do a dental commercial. If you know anybody, hire it. You know.
Well, I will definitely, if I know anybody, I will definitely let you know. Because, like I said, you're very beautiful smile, and I love this.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to switch gears, so we'll go back to your R&B singing. All right. You started out, you say you started out singing R&B and gospel. What actually led to you starting to sing professionally?
Started singing professionally?
Yes.
I think, well, I gotta go way back for this answer. When I was in elementary school, I was singing in the chorus. Actually, my dad put me in the band, but I didn't have an instrument. So they sent my paperwork back home. And my mom was like, you know, we'll sing all this. Let's put her in chorus. And about 10th grade, I was just singing minding my merry business, and my chorus teachers actually sat down beside me and said I could sing and gave me my first solo. And wanted to put me in a bunch of programs for singers at the time. I really don't think I did those programs in particular, but all through school, I did all the honors choruses, all the school plays that were musicals and things like that. I did a lot of that. And so I always was a singer. It was just, I took a little break when I graduated and went to college and things like that. But I was always a singer. Once I got older and I started to graduate from college, I started back songwriting. And songwriting got me back into singing professionally because what's the point of writing a song if nobody hears it?
Right.
So when I wrote my songs, I had to sing them. And so I started singing at like record pools and things like that. I actually had a friend of mine who I modeled with Marcus Houston. She's in the picture with me, who knew about the first record pool that I ever found out about and just called me like, you know, I know you got this song, you know, because I play it. And I went and sung at that record pool, and I met a lot of people that I do music with even to this day. So really what got me back into singing was songwriting. And then once I started doing that, then I started back singing in church, leading praise and worship and things like that. And what songwriting also led me to as an adult is being in bands. I've sung with about 2 bands. I still have a band right now.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off just for a second, because that's going to be my next question. The ESW band, are you still with them, and tell me about them?
So the ESW band, yes, I'm still with them. You can always book us for events as a band. What happened, they were first a retro band. Then they added me and my bandmate Sherry, and we created a different band called ESW because the retro band had more retro music. So we started doing songs that we could sing, like more current, like Jill Scott.
Oh, wait a minute, and I'm gonna say you were singing one of my Jill Scott songs in the video in my research. Woke up this morning. Yep, as you did. But continue. I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue. Yeah, sing it. Go ahead, sing it. Go ahead.
Jumped out of bed, took a shower, dressed, cleaned up my plate, made me some breakfast, toast, 2 scrambled eggs, grits, grabbed my keys, grabbed my purse, grabbed my jacket off to work. Beaming all the way down Third. Is it the way you love me, baby?
See, that was just awesome. See, I love that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but no, I heard you sing that. Tell me about some of your original music.
The ones that I'm promoting now, I've been writing songs for about 10 years on and off. Some of the ones I'm promoting now is called So In Love. I wrote that. I pretty much wrote that. And then another song I'm promoting right now is from the DJ Precise compilation album, Hands in the Air. And the song is called Love Me or Leave Me Alone. It's a little up-tempo, kind of retro feel.
Ooh.
So trying to make like positive songs, you know, upbeat, maybe love songs. In the past, I've made some songs about relationships, the good, the bad about relationships. But I think that songwriting helps me. It's like a therapy. And even in pageantry, I promote young girls being physically, mentally, and emotionally healthy. And part of the ways of doing that is through creative expression. And songwriting and both taking pictures are some of the ways that I do creative expression. But my songs, I write, they are truly from my heart and how I feel.
Yes.
I believe they're positive songs, and they can help somebody else who may be feeling the same way.
Okay. Well, where have you performed? Where are some places you performed?
Wow, I've performed a lot of places. Are you talking about original national anthems?
All of it. Yeah, all of it.
Well, let's start with the national anthems. I performed, it's the Conflict MAA. I performed in, Charleston, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, oh goodness, Augusta, Georgia. I've performed a lot of places. But those are what comes to mind. Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Columbia, Augusta, Georgia, and I'm sure I'm performed some more places than that, but those come to mind. As far as the band, we usually do a lot of things in Columbia as far as the band goes. We've sung at my house, Bar and Grill. We've sung at my family reunion, and at family reunion we sung both cover songs and some originals. That was in Columbia. I've sung at Bam Fest in Bamberg with Florda Records crew. Florda Records. I have sung a lot of places. I'm going to be singing in Camden on the 14th as a solo artist, but I will have singers with me, so I'll be performing in Camden. Shout out to Sherry and Yolanda, that should be singing with me. So just anywhere, I can reach, I sing. And they're usually venues and events. I was singing, the video you saw, I believe I was singing in Charleston. and that was for the music conference.
Okay. So, now I'm going to really pick your brain for a second. You can sing, you're very beautiful, you have a beautiful smile. You have so much going on. Now, I mean, what are some more of your hidden talents? I know you're not telling me about all your talents. That you are multi-talented.
A hidden talent that I have, I do my own hair and makeup.
So you do your own hair and makeup. Hello? Can you hear me?
I do my own makeup. I work every day. I keep a job. I sing, I songwrite. A hidden talent I probably have is like styling clothes, putting clothes together. Like maybe in the future you might see like a clothing line or something like that.
Okay. Awesome. So that actually leads me into my next question. What's in the future for you? I know you have some stuff going on.
Yeah, definitely more music, more modeling. Definitely in the works. It's always good to grow and do better. And just try to grow on your talents. More singles coming out. Definitely right now working on music. And just doing better at honing on your craft. And like I said, eventually it may grow into more like clothing lines, marketing, products and things like that as well. A whole entrepreneur overhaul, you know?
Okay. Cool. So my next question is, how can we get to know you? How can we buy your music? How can we... where can we buy your music? How can we get to know you? Where can we follow you in different cities? What can we do to actually, find you, contact you, join your fan club, whatever is needs to be done? How can we contact you?
All right. So the first thing I would say is join my Instagram, because my Facebook page is quite full. My Instagram is Nicole Marie _SC. That's NICOLE. Let me back up. Capital NICOLE, capital MARIE _SC. That's my Instagram. It has, a lot of pictures and a portion of my videos. The videos on Instagram can't be for so long, but little clips of me singing. Sometimes I sing with friends, and sometimes I'm singing professionally. And just sometimes little things, about me. But mainly it's about my entertainment and my journey in the entertainment industry. The Hands in the Air compilation album can be sold on all media platforms, and I'm going to be working on putting some more new music on social media platforms. And So in Love, going to be working on some things with that as well, which is So in Love and Love and Be Alone are my two most recent singles.
Okay. Awesome. Well, my final question is...
And you can always inbox me on Instagram.
Oh, awesome. Definitely. I'll be stalking. I'll be stalking / following you. I'm kidding. No, but I'll definitely be following you. So my final question is, do you have any advice for any up-and-coming models or R&B scene, anyone who's trying to come up right now?
Yes, I have a lot of advice. But my main advice is know who you are and what you're doing. And if there's something in you that's telling you to take a certain path, I like to say it's like the Lord tells me, but believe in yourself and your inner voice and work for it. Nothing is easy. You have to work for everything you get. And if it doesn't work the first time, you keep trying. If you're a singer and your first show, they boo you, you dust off, you critique it, and you strong, and you have to believe in yourself and what you have to offer. And that's for modeling too. You know, you could go to a casting call, you could go to an agency, and they could say, you know, you're not what we're looking for. And you can take that and never model again, or you can say, okay, and try something different. Also, go where you're led to go. Like I said, with the modeling, I started out as a singer, but I ended up doing pretty well with modeling. And, you know, sometimes you may think that there's one path for you where there's multiple. So kind of being in touch with yourself and learning kind of two things, knowing what you offer and bring to the table, and also kind of knowing where you're led to go with it. You know, it may be that one little thing that makes you perfect for something, you know, and you just have to find that niche that you fit in and worry about what you have going on and nobody else, because at the end of the day, it's about your journey to success and nobody else's.
Next, author's advice. But first, here's who's going to be on the next Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell.
can't see him. Man, I can't tell. Henry! Henry, come back! 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 Baby, I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing.
Oh, I'm lost. I'm just...
I can't see nothing.
That's okay.
She is the queen of my existence. She is someone's black mother, someone's black daughter, someone's black sister. In fact, who are you to disrespect our black sisters? The ones who bore our children, cooked our meals, and kept our two cool selves out of jail. Have you checked out How to Lose a Black Woman, the second printing? Same Bruce Williams with an updated story and more heart than the original. You can check out the second printing of How to Lose a Black Woman for only $14.95. You can check it out from these booksellers, your favorite bookstore, and even on Kindle and Nook. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit.
It's been an exhausting day. We had a wonderful time. The family is all talking right now. Everything's all good. As we end our first day with the Artist Corner, we talk about family. Family is important. Writing is important, but yet family is even more important. So I'm going to start the week by talking about that. We can talk about so many things dealing with family. Better family means a better person. Better person means a better writer. Better writer means best-selling author. Best-selling author means more vacations like this. So, see you next time. Peace, hair grease, and as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. God bless.
Oh, I need iron.